Shalom, sisters. Call out Yawanah. All praises for this new day. I come with a study. It's not really a study. It's like, I guess you can call it that because it's like a lot of notes put together. So like if you just hear the city workers, I am in the ghetto where the Jews abide. But yeah, this is basically a study I put together some time ago. It goes into discerning a potential righteous husband. So I'm going to read this word from word because, if any sisters want to, and I took my time with this and, made sure that I worded it exactly how I wanted to, basically. So if any sisters would like to, take it down word by word in their notes, then all praises, you can. So I won't be I won't be going over scriptures. I'll read one scripture at the end, but other than that, after each point, I'm gonna state the scriptures and you can put them in parentheses, right? So I'll state a point and then I'll be like Luke 1:6, right? So that precept would go with that point. Now all of them aren't like that. This is really just a chat thing, right? But I did still try to implement scriptures. But if sisters, it's not all the scriptures in the word pertaining to marriage and, just all of this, right? Proving someone, right? But I did try to add a few that I thought would be good at the time. So we can start with the first points. Yeah, it's hard. If that man is not striving to keep all the commandments of God and believe in his son, he's not going to be a righteous man, thus saith the Lord. Luke 1:6. Intentional isolation. This is a red flag. So intentional isolation. A person needs righteous friends around them to hold them accountable. A man who knows that they're still on, I put BS right here, but still on mess, basically, and doesn't want to be held accountable for real, will not have close brothers that they'll confess their faults and sins to, seek counseling from, that they'll expect to hold them accountable. Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. Likewise, if he does have close brothers or other people around him, ask them about what he's like, his true nature, what he falls short into, etc. If he does have that community around them. But in general, iron sharpen iron, right? So in general, someone who wants to actually be better and just, not hide any of their faults, their sins. Someone who wants to be better is going to have at least one person or, a couple of, but especially just one close friend, one close person that they're going to be, so it's he shouldn't really be an individualite in this thing because it's we got social media. That's another with these tools. The Most High allowed this tool to be used so that we can still fellowship, study with other people, come together. We scattered all over the nation, honestly, all over the four corners of the earth. So it's he shouldn't just be isolated. And a big part of that, why he might be, why he has no brothers, no friends, no ox, he doesn't try to, probably doesn't even try to reach out to people, is because he knows that he's still behind closed doors. He's not holding that integrity of really being righteous, really, basically holding himself accountable, right, through the Spirit. Not actively in the work of a provider, physical/spiritual. Husbandry, seeking the heart of Yahweh correctly through scripture. Next point. A man needs to have his heart after what's truly righteous and correct in the Lord, and his actions need to stand on that. That's why it's important to know the scriptures yourself in knowing what's wisdom and what is unlawful. We don't want to be fooled, bamboozled in this thing, because it's like, sister, you didn't do your part in like just studying to show yourself approved. A man doesn't respect you nor value you if he's trying to pursue you without himself. The following points. And this study is kind of all over the place. Like these notes are not in any order. So a man doesn't respect you nor value you if he's trying to pursue you without himself being after the heart of Yahweh. He must be doing the work of the Lord, evangelizing to family, street teaching, his family, or, honestly, your family. Like, he should be that should be a good fruit. Like, he actually does care to, wake his people up, if he can, right? If he does have the knowledge and, is actually not being a hypocrite and is actually living in that, then, so street teaching, that could be a thing. Making edifying videos, building with other like-minded men to get a better understanding of the scriptures. If he's too caught up in his so-called love, which is really lust, if he's too caught up in his lust after you and not after having his duties of the Lord as a man as a priority, red flag. Next point. Actively applying the scriptures in action. Doesn't have emotional, spiritual control in stressful situations. Is he quick to wrath and anger? Proverbs 16:32. Next point. Not a provider. Doesn't have a job. Doesn't have his own place. Doesn't manage finances correctly. Looking also to depend on you for financial support. A man must hold his own alone before you can add anything unto him. So he needs to be in the mindset of doing so and not dragging you into anything unstable, right? Because, anyone who would do that, 1 Timothy 5:8. Next point. He does not respect you enough to take you uprightly as a wife, not after lust. He should want to do an upright marriage process, proving process, courting, etc. And this pertains to virgins and, even if you're not a physical virgin, new creatures in Hamashiach, because, we know that you can become a new creature in this thing. Tobit 8:7. Next point. Just because he's in the same doctrine as you does not mean he can't be a monster. Remember Judas Iscariot. Next point. A man should be able to break down scriptures himself and not have to go to any other man, teacher, elder. Another way to know if he'll be able to spiritually provide for you, right? Watering you every day. You can ask that man to break down a certain topic and see how he does it, what he does, etc. Next point. If that man isn't consistent and passionate in the righteous work, straight reading, studying, praying, evangelizing, these things are free. So if he's not consistent and passionate in these things, it shows a lot when the man isn't even in love with the first works of the Most High. Like I said, these things are free. And also an excuse cannot be, oh, I don't have time, because you got to make time. You got to make time. So next point. How does he recover when he does fall into sin and temptation? Does he let his sins weigh him down and wax worse, aka self-destruct? Or does he build himself back up to be better and to not fall into that sin again quickly? Next point. If a man is lazy and does not love himself enough to keep up with his bodily health, working out, eating clean and healthy, hygiene, it shows he will not care for your well-being, let alone y'all's children that y'all create together. Right? These things can show that a man is balanced in his discipline spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Next point. Actually make sure that you can love this man for his personality. Are you actually attracted to him physically and spiritually? Yahweh forbid if any roadblock happens in y'all marriage, but since y'all are one flesh until death, when you do consecrate that marriage and get married, to this man, you are one flesh until death. You want to make sure that you'll be willing to reconcile with him and have no regrets of the courting, proving process, no regrets of him, etc. Right? Because there has been a lot of times of where, actually, I'm going to go to the next point that'll explain this. Next point, be not blinded by your love for a man. This is why the scriptures give you a literal checklist of what a good husband does and doesn't do. Red and green flags. Don't be gaslighted. Don't be manipulated or fooled, beguiled, bamboozled, hoodwinked. Don't. Make sure that, next point, make sure that the man believes and understands that marriage is a lifetime commitment unto death. He should not have a Pharisee mindset of thinking he can break that covenant for any reason other than fornication and adultery. Marriage is until death do y'all part, and that's thus saith the Lord. Matthew 19, 3 through 11. Okay, so I'm going to back it up. I'm going to back it up to the other point because I actually didn't add this, right? But making sure you're not blinded when you are getting to know someone, prove their spirit, right? Because it's been a lot of times where something will happen in someone's marriage and, sisters giving their accounts, this and that. Something has happened and, now that love, that veil of love is uncovered off of their eyes, they're like, oh man, I really noticed, I don't even like this person for real, man. I don't even like them, physically, through the spirit, their personality. It really wasn't nothing to them. Not their might, no zeal towards the Most High. These women, they be our sisters who this stuff has happened to or has, shared this stuff, shared their accounts of what happened and whatnot to, help other sisters. They be dang, so don't be so caught up, right? Moral of the story, don't be so caught up in, you liking him so much but when that's taken away, you really find no qualities that you actually like about this person, or that, you actually found of him. Honestly, it's all spiritual, right? It's not even the physical. It's not even what he can provide, how he looks. He's so handsome. Oh, he's got this and that, and the new car and the house or the apartment. He got money in the bank, but he can still be a monster. So it's prove that, Next point. Sisters, stop looking at this man's potential and see him for what he already is in his actions. It shows that he doesn't truly respect you if he's trying to take you when he's not even prepared as a man yet. Next point. Sisters who have already spent time in a courtship should not ignore the red flags because you've been courting him for a long time already. Sis, if he's not already at a certain level he needs to be at, he's not ready to take you up rightly. So, sisters, they be struggling. They be like, you know how it be, we getting older and older. Man, I done already spent so much time on this person. Man, I just feel so obligated to marry them. But, their fruits are still not really in order how they need to be, man. But, man, it's been months, it's been over a year, etc. Man, it's, we haven't laid down yet. We haven't really did it yet. We haven't actually married and came together yet. But, man, it's they're showing all these red flags. But, man, I'm just about to move in with him. I move in with him. I don't know, let's say a sister about to move in with a brother next month, this and that, etc., and she just feels so obligated to and Lord willing this not happening, but Lord willing, sis, y'all not caught up in deception or anything, right? Like, y'all are not caught up in basically being fooled by these wolves and sheep's clothing, and being gaslighted, being manipulated, etc. Like, Lord willing. So sisters, really, really examine yourself. Even if you're courting this man, you have been courting him, etc. But like, really examine the situation. Examine how it's been between y'all, right? Just examine, right? Before you cross that threshold, because once you cross it, it's no turning back, and now it's like you just gotta kind of deal with whatever is dealt to you. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone has a good husband. Not everyone has a fair husband. A loving husband. So, and all that. I just wanted to kind of tip that in there. So this is about the end of the lesson. I got like 3 more bullet points in the scripture. With everything I mentioned, you yourself as a woman should possess as well. We know that 9 times out of 10, a wicked woman would be given to a portion unto a wicked man. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 26 and 23 says that. Make sure you're of high value yourself so that you can know how to spot godly qualities in a man as well. So it's like, if you have high standards, if you're like, if you have wisdom, you're gonna see right through someone. You're gonna see right through them because you're not fooled, because you're spiritually conscious and you know yourself. Like, oh nah, that's not the fruits of the spirit. Nah, that's not right of that person to be operating like that. Oh, look at their heart. Like, I can clearly see them. Like, it be clear as day, right? So that's why, the Lord literally warns us. The Lord, he wants the best for us, right? So we can't like put his instructions on the back burner. He's telling us what to discern, etc. We can't put his instructions on the back burner just because, oh, I just like them so much. I just, we're getting married. And then, such does happen, but then, you're stuck with certain things in your marriage that could be coming from him, right? Or that he has done, or etc. And then you want to basically cry to the Lord. And it's like, just not fair, right? Like, don't always, I'm gonna say this, like, especially with content like this being brought out, like the sister Abarriyah and Yawanah literally just posted a video as well. I'm gonna try to put in the description of this video. But like, with content like this, and sisters and men telling y'all, like, discern these men, prove them to be who they say they are, and basically like who they're saying they are in the scriptures. It's like all this content is going out, so it's like it is up to you, sisters, to discern this. In the future, it don't matter if you're single now, it don't matter if you're already courting, you haven't crossed the threshold of being married yet. So yeah, so yeah, you could see clearly through someone. You can see clear as day through someone when they don't possess these things. You can see the red flags, you can see the green flags, like, okay, they're doing this, they're applying this, but they're not applying this, or oh, they're completely going against this. So that I basically explained the next point in full. Sister, it does you no good to know scriptures and to not apply them when discerning if a man already possesses the qualities of a righteous husband. Put in the work to sow so that you can reap a righteous Yawanah. Goodness. So yeah, man, like, you want to, especially you got this knowledge. Like, I don't know how many sisters they didn't have this knowledge. Like, it's a lot of sisters that were babes in this thing. They were kind of just befooled and beguiled, and like, they didn't have this wisdom. They didn't even hear it. And it's like, unfortunately, their mindset when they came in this truth was, oh, find a righteous husband, get married, without like building themselves up as women so they can be more girded up in wisdom and knowledge, right? So that they can then foresee these things, like they can foresee like, oh, that's not right, or nah, that brother, he ain't in spirit. I just see the little things. It be the little things that will reflect like what's already in their heart, con. And also before I'm gonna get the scripture first. I'm gonna say it before. Also, like, even if any married sisters are watching this, there probably are. Even if you are watching this and you're already married, and it's like, well, you crossed that threshold. This is to let like the single sisters know, who are still single, who aren't bounded to anyone yet for the rest of their lives. Like, if it's in your lot for something to happen still, because there will be highs and lows of your marriage. If it's there will still be there will still be things that could possibly happen, even if you do all these instructions. So, but it's like, you do these things, you prove correctly, and you read the spirit, this and that, so that you done what you're supposed to do. You done the best that you can do in discerning this man, etc. So it's like, you won't have no regrets. But like, it be weighing, like, I've heard testimonies of sisters, like, it just be weighing on them, because it's like they just got basically they one flesh with a monster. So that's unfortunate. This last scripture is Ecclesiasticus 19:4. He that is hasty to give credit is light-minded, and he that sinneth shall offend against his own soul. So he that is hasty to give credit is light-minded. So we're not like-minded women. We're not airheads. We're not dumbfounded. We're not dumb women, right? We're women of the Most High, women of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and integrity behind closed doors. So we can't be so hasty to credit someone, like, oh, look how mighty they teach this scripture. Look how, I'm telling y'all, like, the Pharisees, right? Satan knows the book front to back. He could bring out, and he could give the mightiest breakdown of the deep, dark prophecies, and the meat of the scriptures, and etc. But it's like, really take the time. Also, I gotta touch on that too. But like, really take the time to don't let that like just sway you so easily, right? Honestly, it should be like like, you're not fooling me. You gotta prove it. You gotta prove it, and then like, you obviously like gotta prove their fruits, right? Also, many sisters have also brought out just the benefits of extending that courtship time, that proven time, right? Because honestly, you do have to see a person through the highs and lows of life, through trials, tribulations, things that would basically try them in the spirit, and you're gonna see how they react. Like, oh, he lost his job, he lost his apartment, man, like, he lost this, he's homeless. Let's see if he keeps his integrity, right? Like, you're watching this person, and you're seeing like, okay, they're still holding up through the spirit, or are they giving so easily into their flesh? Are they just spazzing out, anger, bitterness? Like, it's like, when everything go down, when the lows of life come, it's like they kind of forget the Lord, so those are the kind of things, that's the benefit of when you extend this period of time. that's the benefit of that. You know, you can just see that through anything that comes, especially when you pray unto the Lord, like, Lord, please reveal unto this person to me. Please reveal who they truly are unto me. If they would be a good spouse, potential spouse, this and that, etc. Pray that. You know, don't just keep praying, oh, Abba, send me a righteous husband, but also pray, like, to prove that person, basically. And for the Lord to reveal stuff, because the Lord will make something happen and you'll be able to see, like, oh, okay, yeah, he's spazzing. Nah, you know, it's like a bar, right? Like, start from zero. A lot of times we make the mistake as sisters and wanting to, you know, take someone's word for it, and we start them off at 100, but start them from zero. And, like, you know, as time passes, as you, like, seeing their fruits, like, okay, now it's itching up, right? Like, okay, oh, this big dramatic thing happened that was just so terrible. This done happened to them. But they still operate in the spirit. They didn't let their flesh conquer, and, you know, etc. Man, that shows a lot of strength. That shows spiritual control. That shows mind control. They just don't let their mind, like, you know, all these wicked thoughts that's trying to implant itself in their mind, they don't let it stay. They don't, you know, manifest it. They pluck it out, and they keep the scriptures. They stay grounded in the scriptures. Like, yeah, then that bar can, like, go up, right? And like I said, with time, etc. If there is something, you know, that, you know, happens, and, you know, they slip up on, you know, you might want to just pause, right? Pause and see what they do to recover, etc. Like I said. Because, sisters, my phone is about to die, and I do not want it to die on me. So yeah, I pray that, you know, this lesson helped. Like I said, the Abarriyah sisters, Abarriyah and Yawanah, recently just posted a video about, you know, their, you know, some tips in courting, especially long distance courting, which what most of us is doing, right? Well, mostly sisters are doing, like, through FaceTime, etc. And I'm gonna put this last tip in here, like, FaceTime. Be on FaceTime, right? Because then you can see, like, oh, what you doing? Oh, I'm studying. Oh, okay. Oh, you just walked away from the phone. What was you doing? Oh, I was praying. Oh, okay. Or, you know, like, be on FaceTime, and then on FaceTime you'll get to noticing things, right? I done went on a whole nother topic, but, you know, these are all, like, this whole video, like, these are tips. So Chaashaqahya that it's not put together, like, right? But, you know, when you're on FaceTime, you can see their habits. Like, all he does, he just sits around. He ain't got no job. Like, he just sits around. Oh, he talking about he finna go to his mama to pick up that Christmas plate. Huh? Like, okay. He's just sitting around. What you eating? Oh, you know, 10-piece, this, that, with the Kiki pool. You know, little 4 for 4. That's all you eat. You don't never try to cut back on that. Okay. You know, so see the signs, pay attention to the signs. I'm telling you, don't ignore them. Don't ignore them. All this wisdom, all praise to the Most High, that this wisdom can, like, be brought out, right? So yeah, look for discipline, seek discipline, and if it ain't there in all of these aspects, like I said, this could be like a checklist. In all these aspects, and especially going to the scriptures, in all these aspects, you know, you just need to pause. Like, okay, you know, you kind of haven't gotten that all the way completely together, so we just gonna, you know, you are literally watching him to see, like, okay, how is he gonna recover on that, right? So all praise to the Most High, sisters. Have a great day. Shalom.